And I think probably I'm in the job that I always wanted to do, which is Group Business Services Director at Bride. Not necessarily at Bride, I didn't know about Bride, as Anna has said, but there I am now. And it's dealing with all those back office processes, anything that you can transactionalise, no such word, my verb, anything that you can transactionalise, make repeat, rules driven, do it again and again, and drive that service to the highest level you possibly can. And so what's my qualifications to be able to talk to you? Why do I feel I know a little bit about the subject? I think I've done it in a number of different guises. And when I started off, I was at NatWest. And we did centralised operations. Now, NatWest had 2,500 branches. No, it didn't. It had 2,500 banks. And they all did absolutely everything all the same. And if you wanted a checkbook, well, they printed it there, they printed it there, they printed, oh my God, 2,500 times. And so I was part of the teams that started to rip it about. So anybody now who's struggled with call centres and what have you, I am partly to blame for some of that as far as your banking's concerned. But the thing was, it was centralised operations. It was still in the line. Now that probably was the embryo of shared services, captive shared services as we know it now, but it was partly in the management line, and there's a big difference there. So I moved on from NatWest and from those days to join a company called Fiserv, which sells banking software. And Fiserv had asked me to set up the managed service division. Now the maxim there, one of our main clients was Kahoot. Kahoot, the first internet bank. I'm not sure what an internet bank is, but that's what they called themselves. First internet bank. So we sold them the platform, the software to run the bank. And we said, we know about this. We can help you. We can actually run that platform. We can manage the servers. We can actually manage the applications. Boom, boom, boom. Oh, we've got a managed service for you. And they say we need a contact centre for this. Fantastic. We can actually help you run that because we know how the software is supposed to work. Fantastic. Actually, we know the kind of people we want to do. We could recruit the people. And suddenly we had this managed service. And in effect, that was kind of an outsourced deal. But at that time, it was a managed service. But from there, then I went to get into shared services, as we probably know, and I love it. And that was captive shared services. And I've run a number, and they all have a slightly different guise. Pan-European, UK, global, yeah, that's one set of combinations. Single process or range of processes, yeah. Manufacturing, yeah, or professional services, yeah, applies to all of that. Public sector, private sector, yeah, tick, to both of those. And a number of businesses. Now, why am I saying this? Because I'm just trying to show it covers the spectrum. Tetra Pak, fabulous business. HBOS, that was more in IT. Medical Research Council, there's a different kind of concept. How do you transactionalise, my word again, some of the processes that they've got there. Legal services with the Legal Services Commission, over £2 billion worth of payments per annum. Well, there's a repeat transactional process, if ever there was one. Westminster City Council, DS Smith, and now McBride. Okay, so that's, I think, my background for it. But then outsource shared services. So we've done all the captive bit and that, and now we go to outsource. And I did that with ICI. And that was a global finance shared services with HP. Someone here talked about Costa Rica. So we had Costa Rica, India, China, and Poland. Okay, so that's the set. And they've changed, I think, centralised and managed services into captive and outsourced. Now, I said that's where I wanted to be, captive shared services. 20 years ago, though, when I was at NatWest, I didn't realise what I was actually letting myself in for. But there were two things that were important to me: process and service. Okay? And I want to just now talk about those a little bit. And I just want to tell you some silly-ish stories, really. Firstly, the one about process. We set up a processing centre for NatWest. This was processing all checks, opening accounts, standing orders, what have you, in Cambridge. And the guy running the business was a little bit of an aggressive kind of type, and he said, right, I'm going to get these folks really processing all these checks. And they sat on these big machines, they coded the checks, and checks shot through the machines. I'm going to do this. I'm actually going to put the targets of how they do it. And He liked his beer, this guy, and he used to go to the pub, and he used to play on the Space Invader, shows how long ago it was, and they used to have a high score on the machine, and he put his high score in. He said, I'm going to put that in the centre now as well. So of course, there's the folks, boys and girls working on the machines. There's Barry, 1350, well done Barry. Oh, now this girl, she's done even better. Barry's high score's gone. Wonderful, but what did it start to generate? It started to, process is important, performance, efficiency is important. It's a silly example, but it's important. And I'll give you another example, again from NatWest. The property management function, oh God, look at the time. The property management, they reported to me as well. And they said, we want you to talk at our conference because we do all your work for you. Yeah, great, fantastic. And NatWest's motto at the time was first choice. We want to be first choice. Great. I spoke at the conference and I said, I have a problem. You want to be first choice? The trouble is, you are my only choice. Now, I'm going to have to be quick on here. There's pages to go. I told you. But the issue for me, it's about valuing the people. It's about service. It's about culture. There's masses of culture change we could get into. But hopefully, what I've tried to say is, when you get all of that, you get all this spirit, you get all this drive, and you lock it into the business that you know, the people that you love and want to work with. That is so damn powerful. And that's where it wins for me over an outsourced deal. Where the outsourced deal is the CEO comes in, CEO from HP that we work with, I say, who are they? But actually, if it's me and it's going and I'm dealing with our people, it's us, it's our business, and that matters. And that's how I think we can really drive value and service. I'm sorry that I'm taking that line, but it's the one that gets me somewhere here. Thank you.